Standing by in Denver, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in right at 500, looking to get that win to bump them back above 500.
This game means a lot to them because of what you just talked about. When you can bump yourself over 500, it's a lot of optimism in your building as you move forward in the season.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
The veteran kicker, Robbie Gould, set to get us started. And we are underway here on EA Sports. Isaiah McKenzie now on the return. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top? He's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That one into the hands of Hamilton. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. The tackle by Eric Armstead.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3.
Here we go now. 3.
Back to throw. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is that right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Saquon Barkley looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
21. Go ahead.
On second down, it's Bell. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, you know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Here's Garoppolo to throw, and he's got his target. That's more. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The result, a first down, as a quick slant gets him 14. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got the turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
12. Here we go.
Now Garoppolo throwing on second. Goes underneath for Bell. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
11. 12. 21. Here we go.
Garoppolo on first down. Over the middle, it's complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start.
But a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. You know, last week I remember asking you, what would an offensive coordinator be looking for week 2 of the preseason? Now we're in week 3. Defensive coordinator-wise, what's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason, you're playing pretty basic stuff, pretty vanilla defenses. You're looking for guys that play with abandon, that just go out and make plays, and kind of let their athletic ability take over in order for you to notice them.
Call it a gain of 3, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. It cost himself some yardage there.
Looking to throw. Throw taken in by Taylor, left side. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football, and that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better out.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And now look at him go. 20. And into the end zone. A pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. So they go on fourth down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands. We want to head the other way.
Probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. On the return, it's McKenzie. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A first down carry for Barkley. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with 3rd and just a couple.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Broncos on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
The give is to Bell. And some room to maneuver. Bell a 1st down and then some. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Oh, nice move. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 48-yard line.
Like 80! Like 80! Six!
A give to Bell. Bell so light on his feet. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That good for 22 and a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Forced out to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked.
11. White. 21.
Garoppolo to throw on second down. And caught by Henry. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Go ahead. 11.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And the pressure gets to him again. Derek Wolfe in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
So the sack of Garoppolo, and now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Garoppolo looks to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Good work by that Bronco defense, and it leads to a 4th down. These offensive starters still out there in the second quarter. You would think the plan's for them to at least play into the 3rd quarter, if not all the way through it.
Yeah, it might go by feel. If they have a really good first drive to start the 3rd quarter, they might pull them after that. If not, might leave them out there a little bit longer, but I'll guarantee this, they'll be gone by the start of the 4th quarter.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Fuller. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Over the middle, he's got Deshaun Hamilton. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A good pickup there, a 22.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Ball on the 30 as they come up, 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here, 1st and 10.
Here we go. By 20.
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting 49ers on top. As now we send you out to Orlando, and we now proceed to the start of the second half. Our starters likely to be out there for the third quarter as we get back underway in this second half. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17.
All right, here we go. Blue landed.
Here's a give to Barkley. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Blue landed. Blue landed.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. It's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
They're going to look to throw. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Cortland Sutton, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And the lead is down to a field goal. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They'll try and get the running game going with Bell. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Shaquille Barrett in on the tackle.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll go again with Bell. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
21. Here we go. 12. Hey, go.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And it's complete. Henry. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Garoppolo. He'll buy some time right. Deep ball for Goodwin. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. And now it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Escaping the pressure right. And he's got a man on the crossing route. That's more. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. A big play there for the Niners. And even 40 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
11.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. This is Bell on the dump off. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now let's go.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
They'll go to Barkley again. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here.
All right, here we go.
They go play action here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. A handoff to Barkley. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. The linebacker, Ryan Shazier, there to make the tackle.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Vic Beasley in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Welcome back now to Denver. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. Now they'll run it on the toss. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
I remember playing, and from a safety's perspective, when you saw a toss play and trying to see guys get to the edge and get outside, that was always a tough moment because where do you go to pick up the ball carrier. If they seal the edge and seal the perimeter, they're going to bounce that outside. It's a lot longer run, and you got to make sure your angle is right, because once they get to the edge, they're going to pick up good yardage. Your job now is to make sure they don't go all the way for a touchdown. You have to become an excellent tackler against a lot of bodies out leading a runner. And on this play, the defenders were finally able to rally to the ball after a big pickup of yardage and hurt him out of bounds.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And here he'll get it down to the 7. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. As we get late in this one, is altitude a factor for a visiting team in Denver? Is that something that's overplayed?
No, it's real, and I know a lot of the visiting teams like to downplay it because they don't want to get into the heads of their players, but you can't avoid it. As soon as you get to the locker room, you get to the stadium, they always post it in there. Welcome to Denver. Altitude 5,280 feet. The air is rare.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw. Ali. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And Denver getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On 2nd down, Kelly. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Kelly now to throw on 3rd down. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 24 yards.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
On 1st and 10, Kelly. Throw left side complete. It's McKenzie. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively rallying to the ball after the nice move. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw on second. Here's Kelly. Eluding the pressure right. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Back to throw. And he spots Henderson open left side. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving. Back to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. This secondary as a unit, they've worked really well together in this one, especially late.
A lot of cohesiveness, a lot of communication, and some great athleticism. They're playing so well now, a nickname is sure to follow. They're going to have to name this whole unit soon.
Here we go now. 3-19.
He's back to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. In for the score. And the Broncos are an extra point away from taking the lead. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused, because they still have some work to do.
And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll run it on the toss. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. First down now, but that clock rolling. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th.
Leopard! Gone! Over!
He'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. 23 yards on the play. Trying to hurry to the line on the very outskirts of field goal range.
Gone!
Ali now throwing on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Gone!
And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So now it'll all come down to Robbie Gould. It's just a preseason game, but this is for the win. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So now it'll all come down to Robbie Gould. It's just a preseason game, but this is for the win. And this is good. Robbie Gould knocks it through in a pressure spot. And Union Street will be hopping tonight. The 49ers have won it. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Denver, good night, everybody.